Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy, and well, in today's crazy hack broad news, a feminist, an Instagram model feminist to be precise, has been going around in Russia on subways throwing a combination of bleach and water at men in order to combat manspreading. Yes, for those of you who don't know what manspreading is basically the act where a man sits naturally on a chair with his legs wide apart, as men usually do. I'm one of those people, and that's basically it. But feminists see that as like an aggressive thing, with men dominating the space and showing that they run everything, when literally that is how a primate that walks on 2 feet with bollocks sits. I mean, okay, depends on the size of the bollocks, but depending on how big it is, that's the only way you can really sit comfortably. For other guys, they don't have to, but that's just how guys sit, and it's even how some women sit. So if a woman sits like that, is that woman spreading? No, apparently not. It's different when women do it. But regardless, feminists have viewed this as a big problem in society, and it needs to be addressed. In fact, we've even seen this addressed in New York, where there's actually anti-manspreading laws on subway trains. I wish I was making that up, but I'm not. And now, in the latest of crazy feminists in Russia news, this Instagram model decided in the best way to deal with manspreading, the best, most politically convenient way to do this, where nothing bad can go wrong possibly, is to throw a combination of water and bleach at men. So let's just read some news and just get the gist of what is going on here. A self-described public activist in Russia has taken a stand against patriarchal sitting habits, publishing a video that she claims manspreading metro passengers being punished with bottles of bleach laced to water. Anna Dovgalyuk, who previously gained notoriety for fighting upskirting with a video of a girl flashing her underwear, has now felt it necessary to take a stand against men who spread their legs when they sit. A woman of action, Ms. Dovgalyuk says she mixed 30 litres of water with 6 litres of bleach, and an accomplice of hers then poured the patriarchy cleansing cocktail on the crotches of various manspreading strangers minding their own business on the St. Petersburg metro. Immediately we get a general idea of how high her IQ is. The thing is, this is the type of person who thinks that fighting upskirting is best done by showing your knickers. I guess you can really imagine it isn't that much of a logical leap for this type of person to assume, yeah, let's throw bleach at men's crotches. Yeah, that'll stop him from manspreading. And at total strangers too. Now, part of me hopes that this is just one of those many public experiments gone wrong type things, you know, pranks.
Prank, baby! Yeah! Filthy prank! You just got pranked, bro! Oh my dude, you just got pranked! I bet you didn't see that one coming, huh? Fuck you, you just got pranked! Yow! Pranked, baby!
The idea is to leave a permanent mark on the manspreader's clothes so that everyone can immediately understand which body part controls the behaviour of these men. Now it all makes sense. Oh, a bit of sexism to fight sexism, right? Obviously, these are just your typical lad, right? He only follows his dick and not his brain, right? Wow, that's enlightening. That's totally not sexist. Or misandrist. But the thing is, potentially, that might not just leave a permanent mark on their clothes, that could leave a permanent mark on their skin if the bleach is corrosive enough. I mean, just look up the dangers of bleach. That can scar you, you can have an allergic reaction, it's poisonous. I mean, who's to say that he could end up going into a particular place where the atmosphere is hot, noxious fumes could rise. I know that's a big exaggeration and not likely to happen, but anything could happen. He could come into contact with another fluid or substance, and that could make a chain reaction with the bleach and cause horrible things, or he could have an allergic reaction, possibly losing his private parts, or dying. Yeah, she didn't put any thought into that about the safety of these men, because remember, she doesn't care about men. She's not one of those feminists, apparently, who exist. She only cares about the women, and she wants to brand these men. That's what it is. It's kind of weird, like, isn't that something the patriarchy would do? And why is it that she's kind of getting away with this? And the patriarchy, surely she would be arrested by now and thrown into the gulag, right? Well, I'm not seeing anything happening so far, and she's playing with fire there. I mean, in certain areas of London, she can expect somebody to throw acid back at her. I'm surprised these men didn't rightfully defend themselves, because that's assault. That's technically assault with a deadly weapon if you think about it. Since it's not public activism unless it's on YouTube, the stunt was captured on video and posted on her channel. Whether real or staged, the video has received some pretty unfavourable reviews, to put it mildly. As of early Wednesday, 4 weeks ago, or a week ago, I can't remember exactly when this was done, it had over 600,000 views with 1,400 likes and over 29,000 dislikes. Bleach can cause burns, one astute netizen pointed out in the comment section. I'd have taken this young lady by the scruff and dragged her to the police. Another pointed out that the permanent damage this could have caused to the men's clothes and whatever they had in their pockets is a criminal offence. Ironically, Dov Galyuk is a law student herself. There's also the vandalism. She's committing vandalism against these men's private property, which means she can go to jail for that if these men choose to sue her. I mean, why not? They've got a case, they've got basically video evidence if it isn't staged. I'm kind of honestly surprised that in Russia she didn't have some kind of harm done to her, which makes me suggest that it kind of might be staged. Some of it is staged, at least the stuff they want to bring to us, but it doesn't matter. The point she's trying to make here and the actions that she is advocating here are dangerous. Yet this doesn't surprise me whatsoever in the land where Pussy Riot exists. But do you not think this raises an interesting point? That only in a gynocentric world could things like this be spread across the internet and no criminal charges be brought on the woman basically committing assault, as a lot of the people in that comment section quoted said. I mean, that's not a very good patriarchy, is it? And what she's basically saying is that violence and vandalism is okay when done to the right people, i.e. men. It doesn't really matter what race they are. It's men. Men are the problem. Always have been, always will be to these people. The stupidest manifesto I've ever seen, another commenter noted, are all feminists engaged in such rubbish? It would be better to do something useful for society, feminist or not. A few commenters suggested the woman in the video managed to get away with her antics and not get hurt, precisely because she is a woman. As I mentioned before, there's a big taboo to even hit a woman, even in self-defence. You are told not to hit back, even though any astute observer would say, well, if you're getting assaulted and this person, most often not if they're a woman, they're using a weapon or something that can be used as a weapon, you kind of need to. And even then, like, if any of these men, if it was a real encounter and not a staged encounter, did lash out in some way and did hurt her, can you really blame them? They're basically being assaulted in one of their most sensitive, most important areas. You can actually kill him from doing stuff like this. But she knows that. She knows the law. She knows basic human anatomy. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's doing that to make a point to men, to threaten men almost, by doing a natural thing. Because remember, this is all part of demonising men. From the most mundane, i.e. sitting down, to the most not mundane, like being a politician or something like that. It's all about demonising anything masculine, even though technically speaking the way he's sitting is not really a masculine thing. I guess it's something that more men do than women, but if a woman is wearing trousers, she doesn't have to have her legs close together. She can totally spread as she wants to. I don't have a problem with how people sit as long as there's space. And again, this whole social problem can be fixed by simple, polite etiquette. Excuse me, please, I'd like to sit there. And the man will go, oh yeah, of course, yeah. And he'll manspread somewhere else if he has the room. It's that simple. That's all you have to. You don't have to throw bleach at men, threaten them, or do anything like that. All you have to do is be a normal human being, but no, you can't, can you? The thought just doesn't come into their heads, but remember, they've got a high IQ, they're thinking above the mundane, remember? They're constantly going on about this, but there's constant photo evidence of women doing things that is arguably even worse, because at the very least, a man can simply just move his legs, or move to another seat, if he wants to not impede on anybody, because, you know, men also sit next to other men, it's not just women who have to sit next to men who are spreading. Women have a weird tendency to put their bags and their legs and whatever they've got on them on the seat next to them, completely taking up the entire space. At the very least, the man can just move up and it's only his person. They just put whatever they want on there. Some users have put forward the novel idea of talking to manspreaders and asking them to stop. But would that count as public activism? How can you stop men from sitting naturally? That doesn't make sense. It's a natural way to sit for most men, if not all men. And technically, even all women, it's just that it doesn't look nice when you do it in a skirt, which is why they don't tend to. But, you know, women don't have balls dangling down there, so they've got choice at the very least. Like, yeah, it's not public activism, because it's not getting your point across. Now that she's put St. Petersburg's machos in their place, Dov Galyuk says she'll be bringing her righteous bleaching campaign to Moscow and Kazan next. Manspreading on the subway is, in fact, an issue contentious enough to broach an entire campaign over in the US, with its epicenter in New York, involving celebrity activists and ads on trains. And there we go. I don't understand why this particular topic has reared its head again. I guess Russia has just recently had a wave of third wave feminists or something, I don't know. But why this? Why did she become viral? Why are they bringing up manspreading again? I guess really they're trying to fight back against what they perceive to be a pushback. It could be that, or maybe this is the first thing that's happened in Russia to do with this. But, you know, it is simple, typical feminist stupidity. Putting bleach and water together to thaw out men's crotches to brand them, and not realising that perhaps that is what a power structure does to the people who it wants to oppress, rather than the other way around. Because she thinks she's a freedom fighter when she's not. She's basically like a cattle owner branding its cattle. That's essentially what she's doing. I wish there was more I could add, but there really isn't anything more I can add here. It's stupid. She's a hack broad. It doesn't matter if it's staged or real. It's wrong. She's advocating for this shit, and somebody's going to do this. They're going to do it to an actual person, and they're going to hurt themselves, and there's going to be a big hoo-ha about that. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you go and assault somebody's property or even their genitals, if it is that bad, then you've got nobody to blame but yourself when you get some violence thrown at you the other way very quickly. So, anyway, let's be your boy. Until next time. That's for Danya.